Is Meghan Markle a thief? We will come to that shortly. You will not believe the story. Plus, I've got more details. But first, Prince Harry is in deep, deep trouble. His legal case against the Daily Mail newspaper is a hot mess with a shocking new development, which demonstrates that Prince Harry has got the opposite of the Midas touch when it comes to suing newspapers. It doesn't work. He always loses. So a private investigator, whom the Duke of Sussex wants to be the key witness in his trial against the Daily Mail newspaper, the guy that he's called as a witness has been accused of drunkenly assaulting a member of Harry's own legal team. You heard me right. Harry's key witness has been accused of drunkenly assaulting a member of Harry's own legal team. Make it make sense. This is the guy whose testimony is absolutely central to Harry's case and central to Harry avoiding another costly loss in a courtroom. Because don't forget, it was a year ago that he settled with the Mail on Sunday when he was suing them for press intrusion. In the end, it wasn't upheld, and Harry wrote a big fat check for the best part of $1.5 million. Well, he risks the same now. So this key witness, who Harry's relying on, has been accused of drunkenly assaulting a member of Harry's own team. It's just wild. You couldn't make this up. Now, the High Court has been informed of this development. They're not happy. The High Court are intelligent people. These are the top lawyers, the top judges in the land. The United Kingdom is the home of the judiciary, of the very principle of procedural justice. It's the foundation of this country, just like the foundation of Covent Garden, from where I am broadcasting today, which is feeling very, very Thanksgiving. This is a Thanksgiving special, and may I wish all folk in North America and the United States a very, very happy Thanksgiving. So here is the guy. He's called Gavin Burrows. We talked about him on a previous show. This is the private detective in question. He's been served with a summons to give evidence for Prince Harry, despite now claiming that a previous key confession was untrue. This is the guy, Burrows, who said, no, I wasn't paid by the Daily Mail to snoop on Prince Harry and Liz Hurley and Sir Elton John. Can you feel the love tonight? No. So this guy said, no, I didn't. I'm so sorry, Prince Harry, but I did not get paid by the Daily Mail. And he said that this so-called confession that he was paid by the Mail, central to Harry's case, was forged, and that the whole thing was a big fat lie. I mean, I cannot imagine, I cannot process that something that Prince Harry is involved in would be untrue. May God forbid. So Mr. Burrows' initial allegations played a major role in convincing Harry that he had to go to court and bring a case against Associated Newspapers Limited, which is a magnificent media company. And I don't like these endless attacks on our free press, because we need accountability for these rich celebrities, people like Harry, who's really never achieved anything in his life. He's just won the womb lottery. He was born in the correct vessel, which was Diana, may God rest her soul, Princess of Wales, and the seed of King Charles. Ooh, Diana, should we make love tonight? Ooh, okay. So the claims alleged phone hacking, covert bugging, and other unlawful information gathering practices. Now, if Harry's been bugged and if he's been hacked, it's terrible. It's an egregious crime. It's not right, you know. There's a big difference between investigative journalism and breaking the law. And it's my understanding that Diana, for example, and a lot of other celebrities were very confused when stuff that they'd only said to close friends suddenly appeared in the newspapers. And what happened was that these newspapers, it was at the beginning of mobile phones, of cell phones. And what a lot of these celebrities didn't realize is that the standard password for the voicemail, if you access the voicemail on a smartphone remotely from another phone, normally the passcode was just a standard 0000. These celebrities didn't know that, and therefore I'm afraid that a lot of journalists were basically just every 10 minutes checking famous people's phones and listening to the messages. Now that is deeply wrong, and it's egregious, and I can understand why Harry is concerned about that. But there's a few things to say. This is decades ago. And Harry apparently has started a new life in the United States, and he doesn't want to be famous, apparently. And he wants privacy. And yet he's decided to go for this very costly court action, which may now fail as a result of the very wobbly nature of his key witness, accused of drunkenly threatening a member of Harry's own legal team. I mean, you couldn't make it up. It is wild. So that's the issue. Why is Harry? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Harry is still justified in pursuing this? I think it's a long time ago. It's water under the bridge. It's more bad headlines for him. It's more attention and political exposure that the king doesn't want. And I thought, last time I thought Harry wanted reconciliation with the king. And now Harry's creating a hot mess, the endless headlines about this court case, which hasn't even started yet, right? This is like a pre-hearing. And already it's a shambles. Already it's a dumpster fire. And I think he should just pull the plug and get on with his life. I think he's a very, very silly boy. And I think he's going to lose. And I think he's going to lose a lot of money. And I don't think he can afford it, because he's already on the hook for $1.5 million for the Mail on Sunday. Don't forget, he lost another, million at least, suing the British government for royal protection, which was nothing about safety and everything to do with ego. And Harry wanting to have a retinue with him, wanting to have, his own little court of Prince Harry. What do you call it when celebrities go around in a big group with lots of other people? An accompanying, like the heavies. You go in with the heavies, then they've got their sunglasses and they speak into their lapel. Entourage is the word. Entourage. Wouldn't that be a nice beginning lyric for a song? Entourage. So, during a pre-trial hearing on Wednesday, the court heard that Mr. Burrows, Harry's key witness, who says, "No, I'm not a witness," had been issued a summons by both post and email to attend the trial in January. Now, he hasn't replied. Well, he's probably quite busy. He's a journalist. You're not like Harry. Harry hasn't got a job. Harry's got time on his hands to worry and moan about what happened 20 years ago. Harry's got time for this vindictive revenge on the UK press, which he detests. But can you imagine a world without a very proactive media? Well, it would be terrible, because people like Harry and Meghan could peddle their lies, spin their false narratives, and we would be none the wiser. So this guy, Burrows, is expected to give evidence on behalf of Prince Harry and 6 other claimants. However, the court was also told that Mr. Burrows allegedly assaulted Graham Johnson, a former tabloid reporter, who was convicted of phone hacking and now works as a $200 an hour researcher for Harry's legal team. So Harry's got a phone hacker on the payroll. And his key witness is allegedly a drunk man that threatens other people and says, I wasn't paid to hack phones, and therefore I'm not a witness. According to the submissions, Mr. Burrows twice phoned Mr. Johnson, this is the other guy doing the hacking, with threats during a row over payments in March 2022. These are the shady people that Harry now spends his time with and puts a former phone hacker on the payroll. I assume it's a bit like you get a burglar around to do the security for your house, don't you? You get a guy called Fat Davy. He's like, right, you need a lock on that window. You need a double lock on the front door. You need gates at the back. You want spikes all around. There is no better. I don't know why we get rid of the police and just use criminals as cops. Because the criminals actually, they know how to do it. Right? They're the experts. That's what they do for a living. They are professional criminals. Get the criminals to be the cops. It's a fantastic brand new Mark Dolan show idea. So here's what we go. Let me tell you, this is quite extraordinary. So according to, and I honestly can't believe this, according to the submissions, Mr. Burrows twice phoned Mr. Johnson with threats during a row over payments in March 2022. He's also accused later of turning up at Mr. Johnson's home while intoxicated. Well, Burrows likes a drink. Is it a crime to have a beer from time to time? I enjoy a Budweiser, which is the king of beers. We know it's the king of beers because it says so on every can and on every bottle. By the way, isn't Covent Garden just gorgeous? Do you want to have a quick look around? Look at that. Lovely. London town, another beautiful city. So, Burrows likes a drink. So, He turns up, allegedly, he turns up at Johnson's home while intoxicated, issuing verbal threats and pushing him in the street. Well, we'll never defend that. While Johnson's partner and children were inside the property. Now that's okay. If that's true, that's really bad. I don't know. These are allegations. Police were allegedly called. But because he's been ordered to give evidence, Mr. Burrows could face contempt of court charges if he doesn't actually attend. In the witness statement that he now disowns, Burrows claimed he was hired by the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday to spy on celebrities. So you've got a witness statement where Burrows says, I was employed by the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday to spy on celebrities using illegal surveillance tools such as phone hacking and vehicle bugs. But he later withdrew those claims, insisting the statement was completely false and that the signature on it was a forgery. And this is the basis of Harry's claim. And now this guy is allegedly a drunk man that goes around making threats. I don't know. Is Burrows misunderstood? Maybe he's just one of those passionate drinkers. You know what I mean? He gets a little feisty. He doesn't mean it. You know, a bit like Joe Pesci in Raging Bull. No, not Raging Bull. Goodfellas. When he's like, am I funny to you? Am I a comedian? David Sherborne, counsel for Prince Harry, Sir Elton John and the other claimants, applied on Wednesday for anonymity for a witness referred to as Berlin, right? We've got a witness now called Berlin. This whole thing, the plot thickens, folks. It's like a John le Carré novel. So they've applied on Wednesday for anonymity for a witness known only as Berlin. It's a very boring name, Berlin. Can we not come up with a better name? Can we call him Mr. Orinoco? Should we call him Mr. Orinoco? So Mr. Sherborne said that Berlin, or Mr. Orinoco as I like to call him, had supplied critical evidence suggesting that Burrows was engaged in unlawful information gathering on behalf of associated newspapers. The witness, he said, feared retaliation from Burrows if identified. Well, Mr. Justice Nicklin, who knows his onions, this guy is a total rock star judge. He's not having any of it. He's not buying into Harry's narratives. And Nicklin says he rejected the request for anonymity. He said, I'm so sorry. We're not doing that. We're a grown-up court, and we won't be bullied by Harry's very, very wealthy lawyers, saying the potential adverse consequences for Berlin, Mr. Orinoco, did not outweigh the open justice principle, noting that Burrows would likely recognise the witness from the details of the evidence anyway. You see, a lawyer that actually lives in the real world, unlike Harry, who's in an ivory tower, worrying about, oh no, I'm so traumatised because I've got some grey socks, but one is a little more grey than the other because it's been in the washing machine. It's been in the laundry more often. It's had more cycles. It's just a tiny, tiny, but a little bit lighter in shade. And it was so traumatic, I'm going to write a book about it. And it's going to be called Spare 2, and it'll be a bestseller. And then it will be remaindered and pulped, and Mark Dolan will buy it for firewood for the winter because it's cheaper than actual real wood or coal. The anonymity order remains in place pending appeal, but it looks like Berlin, or Mr. Orinoco, is going to be revealed against Harry's wishes. It's not going Harry's way. As I said in yesterday's show, he always loses to William. And now he's losing to the courts. He's losing to the judge. And it's going to be money, money, money. Money makes the world go around. So, and Harry hasn't got the money. Harry is flat broke. Let's not forget that. He can't afford to be doing this. Why can't Harry get a job in Starbucks or something? Hello, is that a large latte? Do you want soy milk? Would you like it extra hot? What's your name? Get Harry a job at the Montecito branch of Starbucks, for goodness sakes. I was in Starbucks in Montecito for the Mark Dolan show road trip. And I was in there with lots of posh people. Obviously, Montecito, there are no actual real people. It's a complete billionaire bubble. Very nice place by the sea. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. So, but let me tell you, people are taking pictures of me and it's very, it's very welcome. I'm a public figure, let's do it. They're thinking, is that the Mark Dolan from the Mark Dolan show, where we are growing a global audience, let me tell you. Right, so we've got to crack on, this is hilarious. I'm outside with no lighting. Can you even see my face? Right. Actually, it's probably a very forgiving angle at this stage of the day. No, I was in Montecito, and in the Starbucks in Montecito, I will tell you that it's very posh, and everyone's names, you know, there's no one called, there's no like Big Steve or Gary, you know, it's all Brett and that kind of thing, you know, it's all these very Benedict. So I'm very excited because I enjoyed it. And by the way, what I like about the Americans, a lot of Americans, they just go to the coffee shop. They go to like the coffee store on a Sunday morning. You know, they go for a walk with the dogs and stuff. They go and get a coffee and a pickup truck, maybe the SUV. It's a very good way of life, which is why I'm so glad that the Americans will be celebrating 250 years of their existence next year, and that the royals will be having a party in America. And it will involve William and Catherine and Charles and Camilla, and Harry and Meghan won't be invited, which was the topic of yesterday's show. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Right. But Harry looks like he's absolutely in hot water here. Now, further documents released on Wednesday show that Prince Harry accused journalists of paying for information about overseas flights and of targeting his past girlfriends. I mean, okay, but I don't know, it's years ago. Harry's probably going to lose. At this point, do we let it go? Do we let it go? I will tell you that I have been working in broadcasting for 25 years, and one of my first jobs ever, I was the producer of a legal show on the original talk radio, and there was a great lawyer, a no-nonsense lawyer called Gary Jacobs, and people used to call in, and they'd go, "Oh, hello, Gary. My name is Stephen Wilberforce, and my neighbour trimmed their hedge and they affected a little bit of my hedge, and I would like to sue them for £77 million. And, you know, Gary would go through, or, you know, someone else would call and go, "Hello, Gary. I went shopping and I bought some apples, and I bought 5 apples, but they only gave me 4, and I want to sue them for £88 million. And what Gary would do, whatever the dispute was, Gary would say, "Look, yeah, you didn't get the apple, your neighbour trimmed the fence, I don't know, you got stiffed for a couple of £100 by a former employer." He said, "Do you really want to put all the time into this, the aggravation, and then you may get like a tiny bit of compensation, but you've lost 6 months of your life?" Gary Jacobs used to say, he's no longer with us now, wonderful no-nonsense lawyer, and he used to say, "Is it worth it?" And the caller would go, "You know what, Gary, I'll let it go. I'll let it go." And that's what I tend to do. I don't know about you guys. If I get a parking ticket, you know, okay, if it's really unfair, you appeal. But what I try to do generally is I just pay it as quickly as possible and make it go away. That's what I do. And then you can move on with your life. And yes, you're minus some dollars, but hey, these things happen. So let me know in the comments, do you think Harry should be protecting girlfriends that he had 20 years ago? And maybe you do, by the way, you're entitled to that opinion, because the Mark Dolan show there's no groupthink here, right? We're a broad church, aren't we? Drawing on conversations with Mr. Burrows and disclosures from the litigation, Harry said the investigator told him that he'd intercepted voicemails belonging to a woman identified only as Laura, believed to be Laura Gerard Lee, Harry's first serious girlfriend. Mr. Burrows also allegedly also admitted targeting Chelsea Davy, with whom the prince had a long-term relationship. These allegations appear in a witness statement that Prince Harry submitted on October the 17th. Now, the Daily Mail deny all wrongdoing, dismissing the claims as lurid, preposterous, and entirely false. I mean, they are taking him down, and they're taking him down to Chinatown. This doesn't play out well for Harry. Why is he taking on this enormous media conglomerate? And he's got a dodgy witness who denies the statement that's been held in his name, and allegedly got drunk and attacked one of Harry's other team. I mean, the whole thing. So sections of the claimant's witness statements were released by the court as part of a process intended to remove irrelevant material before the trial. And how does Meghan feel about this? Is Meghan happy that Harry is splashing the cash on all these court cases? I doubt she is. Meghan's obsessed with money. She doesn't want to needlessly lose dollars, and King Charles is definitely not happy because he does not want the royal family brought into the political sphere, which is exactly what Harry is doing. Does Harry care? Does he heck? And that's exactly why William is done with Harry. It's over. It's over. It's over. So Justice Nicklin, who is playing out to be quite a rock star, has stressed the case must not be allowed to turn into a wide-ranging inquiry into press standards, which of course is exactly what Harry wants. That is Harry's agenda. This isn't about justice. It's about muzzling the press so that we, you and I, cannot hold these rich celebrities to account. No. We are the great unwashed, and we must just look upon them in a worshipful manner and admire everything they do and never ask a question. One portion of Prince Harry's statement, disputed by the Mail's lawyers, reads, "In the course of my claim, I learned that Gavin Burrows has said that he was targeting Laura and also intercepting her parents' voicemail messages." Move on, Harry. Move on. Get on with your life. By the way, we had the mention of Chelsea Davy. Chelsea Davy was one of Harry's girlfriends, and she was a beautiful girl, right? She was lovely. She was as pure as a driven snow. She was classy. She was virginal. She was intelligent, stunning. She would have been the perfect princess. Chelsea Davy. And Harry was dating her, and I'm delighted to say that I actually took a flight with Chelsea Davy. I mean, not next to her. We both got on the plane. She turned left, I turned right, because I'm man of the people, keeping it real. I flew to South Africa for a double wedding. You know, the most amazing thing, which is that I went to a wedding, and a South African friend was getting married and said, "I'm getting married, would you come to our wedding in South Africa?" And that was Cape Town. Now I'm thinking I'd love to, but it's quite far away. It's a lot of expense. And I've got a 1-year-old child who, let's call him Elton for his own safety, because I protect the privacy of my kids, unlike Harry and Meghan, who put their kids on Instagram every 10 seconds. And so I was like, I don't think I can go, really. It's a lot of expense. We've got a young child. And then a different couple of friends were also getting married in South Africa the following weekend. So you got weekend, like first weekend in sort of July, one couple married in Cape Town. The other couple the following weekend getting married in Johannesburg. It's like one weekend after the other, two very good friends. I mean, how rare is that? At that point, you're like, we are going. South Africa, beautiful country. I've told you the baboon story. You'll find it. It's read out, told at length on a previous show when I was on the US road trip. So go back and listen to, it's when I was at Yosemite National Park. If you're curious, I'll tell the baboon story in South Africa. Talking of baboons, Harry's a bit of a baboon. He looks like a baboon. Look, I'm a bit baboon-like. I'm the world's least happy millionaire, and I'm a bit baboon-like. Yikes! So, I did go to South Africa, and I don't know how on earth did we get to South? Oh yes, because I was flying there for those weddings, and I flew with Chelsea Davy, but not next to her, unfortunately. And I will tell you that it was a long flight. I was exhausted, you know, and I got on the plane looking very dashing, a little bit like James Bond, really. And when I got off the plane, I looked like Nick Nolte from Down and Out in Beverly Hills. I looked like a vagrant. I looked like a tramp. I looked like a homeless man, I can't lie. Because it was in the old days when airplanes were not very comfortable. No in-flight movie or any of that stuff. So, and Chelsea Davy, she got off the plane looking exactly the same, looking absolutely identical, which tells me she passed the royal test. It's a bit like the Princess and the Pea. Do you remember that story that they used to read to children? And this is the princess. If you're a princess, right, you'll feel the pea under the mattress. And even though they put the pea under about 50 mattresses, she still felt it and didn't sleep that night. And then the prince knew that she was the one. Well, I think that was Chelsea Davy. She was the one. Harry made such a big mistake not marrying her, but she's been snapped up. Great piece by Richard Eden in the Daily Mail. Prince Harry wed Meghan Markle in the grand medieval setting of St George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, surrounded by a star-studded congregation that stretched from Queen Elizabeth II to Oprah Winfrey and watched by millions around the world. Well, his former girlfriend chose something far more low-key, right? It's a great piece by Richard Eden in the Mail. Do read it. Chelsea Davy, who's now 40, whose stop-start romance with Harry ran for 7 years until 2011, has revealed that she's tied the knot with Norfolk hotelier Sam Cutmore Scott. All of these people are so posh. None of them are called Steve or Gary, are they? Sam, and by the way, that would be Samuel. Samuel Cutmore Scott. I mean, Mwah. Sounds like a section of cow, doesn't it? You know, you're in like in a steakhouse. You're like, can I get the, do you want a fillet? Do you want a T-bone? I'll take a cut more Scott if you've got it. He's like, yeah. The butcher's just prepared the Cutmore Scott, which is the most tender part of the cow. So Sam Cutmore Scott is 40, and they got married at a beach ceremony in Mauritius. While Harry and Meghan ultimately left Britain for Meghan's home state of California, Chelsea and Sam are preparing to head in the opposite direction, leaving Chiswick in West London, crime-ridden, yikes, in what she describes as paradise in the Indian Ocean. She said, we got locked down on the island while visiting my parents during COVID, and while we were there, we got a bit further under the skin of the place from a non-holidaying perspective. And she's like, we're in the process of moving out full time. And this guy, Sam, is a lucky guy. And it should have been Harry. It could have been Harry. But he missed his chance. He did not know what he had. Speaking about Mauritius, she adds, many people think of it as a holiday destination, but it's so much more than that. My parents are based there full time now. And since spending more time visiting them with my kids recently, I've discovered there's a much deeper world which sets it apart from other tropical destinations like the Maldives or the Seychelles. Good luck to her. What a lovely girl. She deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves to be happy. Folks, do you know something? Is Meghan a liar? It's going to have to wait till the next show. Yikes! It's going to have to wait. This show is to be continued. Is that the first ever episode of the Mark Dolan show, which is to be continued? I've done it to you. It's a cliffhanger. Is Meghan Markle a liar? That is the topic of the next Mark Dolan show. Before I go, can I just wish all of my American viewers a happy Thanksgiving? And it's a very, very special occasion. Thanksgiving, at its heart, is one of those beautifully simple ideas that speaks to something deep inside everyone. It's a moment in the American year when everyone slows down a bit, the shops close, right? It's very difficult for the Americans without the store because Americans love shopping, may God bless them. There would be no world economy if it wasn't for the consumptive appetite of the Americans. The noise stops, families come together around the table, not to celebrate success or money or status, apart from Harry and Meghan, but gratitude. Gratitude for the people we love, the food on the table, the roof over our heads, and the small mercies that get us through the year. It's rooted, if you don't know, and I'm sure you do if you're watching in the United States, but for our global audience, Thanksgiving is rooted in a 17th century harvest celebration shared between settlers and Native Americans. But over time, it's become something bigger, more universal, a reminder that even in a world that feels loud, divided, and frantic, there is enormous power in pausing, breaking bread, and giving thanks. So what I'd like to do is demonstrate my thanks. This is Mark Dolan's Thanksgiving to you, because this channel was started at the very beginning of the year. We didn't really find our feet or find our voice well into the spring. So essentially this project is a matter of months old, right? This noisy toddler is not even a year old. It's a very curmudgeonly toddler. It's one of those toddlers that vomits and cries and screams, doesn't sleep much. But it's a toddler that very much appreciates having arrived in the world. Basically, I think we're done with the toddler metaphor. It's getting a little bit over the top. I just want to say that, yes, so here we are, and I'm having so much fun with the Mark Dolan show. So my Thanksgiving is to you for watching the shows, for commenting, for liking, subscribing, being part of this family, this ongoing conversation. The comments aren't part of the show, they are the show. This fantastic journey, which has only just begun. We've only just begun. And there are so many more adventures, so much growth, so many stories, so many truth bombs, so many characters, so many voices. I like Meghan Markle. She has a robust immune system and excellent blood vessels, which are elastic. She has elastic blood vessels, and I will say, having looked at a scan and an X-ray, the capillaries are very elastic and robust. The best thing is her teeth. It's the calcium to enamel ratio is world class and robust. Right, so many more adventures. What I'd like to do now is wish all of my American viewers a very happy Thanksgiving. This thing, it's gone mad now, it keeps dropping. Shall I buy a new tripod? Let me know in the comments. Problem, this one's really easy because it goes up and down really fast like that. So it's really convenient. But the weight of the kit is pulling it down. You don't need this detail. You didn't get that from Walter Cronkite, did you? Or David Letterman, or Anderson Cooper, or any of those people. Jay Leno. Yeah, Jay Leno. David Letterman. So, let me say happy Thanksgiving to all Americans, whether you're with family or friends, and perhaps you may be alone. But either way, I'm wishing all the very best to all of my American friends, cousins, loved ones. It's a magnificent country, both in terms of the people, its history, its contribution to the world. America's amazing. We love America. And happy Thanksgiving. And thanks to the world. And thanks to everyone watching around the world. Every single country, Switzerland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Georgia, China. There's people in China. And the United Kingdom, my country of birth, the Republic of Ireland, Italy, ciao, buongiorno, France, je vais au cinéma avec mes amis pendant les vacances, pourquoi pas. J'ai fatigué, je dors maintenant. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Auf die Treppe schnell! Right, I better stop talking. Love you loads, can't wait to see you for the next video, and it's to be continued. Is Meghan Markle a liar? Bye for now. And I can't explain. Actually, just before we go, why don't I just give you a little tour briefly of Covent Garden. Isn't this gorgeous? We've got the mulled wine, which the Germans call Glühwein. Ich mag der Glühwein, es ist lecker. Auf die Treppe schnell! Covent Garden has been a market for centuries, and everyone is in the Christmas mood now. People are shopping. Look at this gorgeous purpose-built market. In a kind of neoclassical architecture. A lovely mix of old and new. Look, there's a pigeon inside the shopping centre. Oh my goodness, look at those cookies. I don't know about you, I'm getting hungry. Can't do it. I'm on the keto at the moment. We've got to watch those carbohydrates. I've got to be slim and lean for you guys, you know. It's all happening here, isn't it? So yeah, this is London's bustling Covent Garden. We've got a perfumery shop there. They literally, Penhaligon's. Just perfume, just fragrances. For those on a big budget. Rather smart restaurant. And I'll just take you through to the other side. Another perfumery. This is Miller Harris. You're welcome. I could do with some of that. I'm an incredibly smelly person. You wouldn't, I mean, just be very glad you're watching me on video. Oh, should we see the tree? Oh, we better have a look at the tree. You want to see the tree, don't you? Whittard's, very good for tea. Fancy jewellery. People are so nice and smiley. That is, what do you think? Do you want to, on the comments, rate that tree for me? Is that a good tree?
It's a bit wonky.
Yeah, you're right. It's not straight. But the lights are good, aren't they? Well, there you go. And then what you have, sorry, can I apologise? What you have here now is street theatre. It's a big thing in Covent Garden. These performers, they get out there and they perform for a few dollars. And this guy, sorry.
This party takes about 15 minutes. Oh my god, 6 seconds! We made it! Thank you. And now, gentlemen, listen closely, okay? I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, run. When I say run, run.
All right, while he's getting ready, I'll just show you the rest of this lovely market.
When the guys run, please everybody remember it could have been you. And make them feel like rock stars. Can you practice that?
We won't wait for this lovely man because you know these street artists, their job is to keep it going for as long as possible. And you're busy, I'm busy. We got jobs to do, places to be. I'll just show you the last bit now. It's worth seeing really. It's all very grand, isn't it? Where's cameraman John when you need him the most? There we are. Well, look, there you go. I think that's the lion's share of Covent Garden. Thank you. That I've shown you. This is better. Look at that. You can't argue with that, can you? Fabulous. London town. That, by the way, look at that lovely building there. That is the Apple Store. And it's a gorgeous flagship branch of the Apple Store in London, in Covent Garden. And I don't know about you, I have given Apple far too much of my money over the years, but may God bless them. So, and I've got a great story about the Apple Store and Steve Jobs, who founded Apple, which is that a friend of mine was hired by Apple as, I think, head of the retail stores in the UK. It's a very big job. And she's been through a bunch of interviews and she submitted her CV and all of that. She's gone through, it's a top level appointment, you know, Vice President Retail UK. And finally, she got a final interview, and it's with Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. And he met her at this branch of Covent Garden in Apple, because she's British. And they chatted for an hour, and he didn't ask her one question about her qualifications or how she would do the job. For an hour, they just talked about family. He asked her about her kids and what her kids are interested in. And it was like creative stuff and life. The interview happened, and the next day, he says, HR department called her and said, "You got the job." She spent an hour with Steve Jobs, not once discussing what the job would be. And the reason is that Steve Jobs just wanted to know what human being she was, what kind of person she was. And he wasn't fussed about the qualifications, because all of that's been done by other people in the sort of headhunting process. And Steve's like, I want to know what kind of human being you are, and if you're the right human being to be part of this company. And I think that's one of the reasons why Apple is very successful, because of its culture and its values, and how it has the human being at the heart of everything it does. By the way, I think we should get Apple sponsorship for that. I was nearly going to sing. Right, we'll wrap this up. See you next time. Bye for now.